Ba-bo-bee-ba-bo-bo. Okay. We're gonna sync the audio, okay? Get your hands ready. 3, 2, 1. Not necessary. Because we're in the same place. Okay, hello everybody, it's Purge, and welcome back to another episode of Learning with Lori, episode 19. As in, the last time we did this was in 2019.
So true. Are you muted or are you unmuted?
I'm unmuted, so everyone can hear my beautiful voice. Megan can't hear anything. Megan is with me. Very cool. She's here to learn. No one's gonna watch this, so it's kind of cool that Megan's gonna learn something. Any questions you have, Megan, please feel free to voice them. So we are, of course, going to lane. We can speed this up a little bit. We're on the Drow Ranger. Mitch is playing Venge, Mitch's favorite hero. So we've currently got player perspective turned on, so we can see exactly what everyone's doing with their mouse. Starting item build, fine. The double agi slippers. Sometimes I like to replace one slipper with a circlet. I don't know if the gold actually would work out for this. The nice thing about the circlet is you get two agility instead of 3, but you also get 2 strength and 2 int. Kind of nice on Drow, but that's whatever.
What is she setting up to build?
She's setting up to build double Wraith Band. Okay, so we can even talk about what happened here. What happened here, boys? Okay, so we're gonna go back in time. We're gonna go back to the past. So it's 10 seconds to go. I had to play it because the horn was just constantly sounding as I paused there. It was just like,
oh, that's annoying.
So Mitch has words here. Mitch did not, as you often do, Megan, walk all the way out here to either ward or just scout. Right?
Right.
It's really important to do that. He was probably trying to explain to Lori something.
Right.
But he didn't walk over here, and because of that, they had no vision of this lion who had wrapped around. Now, the thing is, as soon as... Right? It's very possible for him to get this rune normally. It's a little rough against the Wyvern plus Pango, because they do a lot of damage early. But it's... Well, they didn't know the lion was up here,
right.
but the assumed lane was Pango plus like Wyvern,
right?
Which they might have been able to see. Whatever. Okay, so they couldn't see. They didn't walk. I don't know if you can actually see this anymore at nighttime. But anyway, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. So they didn't walk over here. They have no vision over here. Right? Where my little mousy moo is. And here. So we got 5 seconds until the rune spawns. As soon as they see the lion, right? It's time to run.
Yeah.
What this lion here tells you is that you are being ganked.
Right.
Unfortunately, what happens is Mitchell, reaction times of an ocelot, he's like, oh shoot, there's a fight happening, I'm gonna go. Right? I guess there are 2 options here, right? One is that Lori runs away, Mitch grabs the rune, which I think he was considering and they decided against it.
Right.
Or Mitch stuns and they both run away. The issue is that they commit to this fight. Mitch goes for his Wave of Terror, which is fine, but now we've got all these heroes here.
Yeah, now it's 3v2.
Right, and your carry's gonna die. Which is widely considered bad.
Yeah.
So kind of a rough start. As soon as they saw the line, they probably should have backed up. You know there's gonna be a lot more people there going hard on you, but... It is what it is.
So where is Lion actually in this game?
Lion is going to be laning safe lane.
Okay.
We got Mirana mid.
So he just came top.
Yeah, he came top to try and get first blood, which is totally fine. And it got him first blood. Okay, so the lane's in a pretty fine position here. What I would do if I were Mitchell is I'd take some damage and then tango this tree. Because you don't have a Quelling Blade in this lane. You might do it soon. Okay, no one got the last hit. So getting rid of this tree allows you free movement. Like around this little clump here. Kind of nice. Let's look at last hits. So we got one last hit, very cool. Against this lane, we should be able to get some more last hits. Lori, if you're watching this, your frost arrows do bonus damage. So you can use them to last it. You don't have to auto target them. You can actually just press it one time, just press Q one time, and your next attack will be a frost arrow instead of like auto casting it, which is when you like alt click it so every attack becomes a frost arrow. Mitch still lasted there, by the way, so we all know. Oh, what the heck.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah, don't forget to deny. Denying is important too. So the lane's push, they did a side pull. We finally got a vision down, very cool. I think Mitch harassing the Wyvern is really good. He accidentally clicked his own ward, but that's fine. But we're starting to get some last hits on the Drow, very cool. When this fight's happening over here, if you throw it on E here, it's actually a kill. Your multi-shot. Oh, you got a kill anyway? Well, Mitch would have lived if you had multi-shotted. That's okay. We're learning, practicing. Multi-shot is a very, very strong ability. It allows you to farm waves really well, and it's kind of nice for a little fight like that where you've only got a couple targets to hit. So backing up all the way over there, what you just did. I'm more pausing. But backing up all the way over there lost a lot of time and lane XP. So I think you lost like 2 creeps worth of experience. What a lot of players forget when they're playing range carry or range heroes in general, and then Megan, this definitely applies to you, is that a lot of times you're against a melee hero, right? And it's like, oh, a little nervous of the melee hero. But you can, if you've got bigger attack range than your opponent, you can bully them super, super hard.
Right.
Every time he comes up, he takes a click, right? Okay, that click's only 69 damage. Nice, by the way. 69 damage, but when you compare it to, like, it's like, oh, well, like, this nuke does 200 damage. Just, yeah, but 3 on right clicks do the same amount, right? Like, really quickly, that adds up. I'm not really sure what Mitch was going for here. Pretty much your feed. Manages not to die. Very cool. But the thing is, in this lane, is you gotta punish them when they come up.
Don't you dare.
Right?
When did Lori's courier die? Your courier.
It must have happened a few minutes ago. I didn't even see
I
that.
didn't see it either.
It might have been in that little skirmish they had down here. I can check real quick. What time are we at right now?
Oh, hell yes.
They warned you not to speak with
Okay, Lurisker is coming now. I think the courier is on its way. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was just unfortunate. The courier pathed back that way, but I mean that's one of those things that happens sometimes. Okay. We go too far. Last thing in the tower is really hard, by the way. So don't feel too bad, but you can use your frost arrows. An extra 10 damage is quite a lot. But you can see you are really falling low on the CS chart. I mean, Rubik, Andy, has almost as much farm as you do at this point, which is not ideal. This camp, if you do want to take it, you want to use multi-shot on it. So the thing is, in this lane, right, you got to consider that you've got a number of resources, right? I'm not going to even name the number because I'm not sure exactly how many. But you've got health, you've got mana, and you've got money and time. But if you are sitting full mana in the lane, then you're kind of wasting that resource. So in that situation, you just died, right? Because of a fight. Maybe Mitch made that call, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But the point is that you can, if you have been hitting them with your frost arrows and you like sitting at like half mana, they would both be much lower HP just sitting in lane, and it means that they're less likely to make an aggressive move like that because it risks them dying, right?
Don't mind if I do.
So Mitch is actually like really low HP, really low mana right now, but that's not that big a deal. So he can tango up. He's using his mana. He's trying to harass. Sitting full mana, it's like you might as well have no mana, right? That's the last that you would have gotten if you used Frost Arrows, by the way. But yeah, you're really falling below on CS, unfortunately. Fortunately, Medusa's doing really well, which is nice. Mitch is stealing last hits, by the way. Looks like you're doing another side pull down here, but these arrow cart waves can be a little awkward. But yeah, right now, I mean, the main issue here is just creep score, like getting last hits, right? I mean, we're 6 minutes in. You should be sitting at about 20. I mean, this Juggernaut has been not free farming, and he's at 20, right? Yeah, a little aggressive there. I mean, Mitch hasn't done a single pull yet, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure if they blocked the camp or not, but it's kind of, the lane gets into a really far push position, and it's hard to CS. Mitch is in a...
Going for a pull now, maybe?
Yeah, I think he's just checking to see if the camp is blocked.
Yeah.
At this point, we're in a kind of unfortunate situation where, because of how far behind you are in net worth, you are struggling to lane, which is causing your net worth to become even worse over time, right? It's kind of like, I mean, that's like the unfortunate reality of Dota in a lot of cases, that like you fall behind, so it's easier for you to fall even more behind. So that was good. As soon as you saw him ult, you backed up, which is great. Mitch is still going to die here, unfortunately. Oh, fog. Very cool. A little weird camera movement there. Oh, but using frost arrows. That's awesome.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Nice job. Very, very good. I probably would have picked up 1 point in silence if you're going to keep laning here. The nice thing with the silence is it kind of stops people going on you, and it can cancel Pangalier's ult before he starts it, which is kind of nice, and it looks like you're just going to be laning for a little while longer. So it's just kind of a nice, like, one value point in that. Like, we compare, like, yeah, there's like a lot more slow duration, you're getting 25% more damage. It's like, it's not amazing. Trick for these, it's three hits from full HP, and then you'll be able to kill them.
For tower hits?
Yeah, for the tower hits.
Yeah.
The tower is going to go 1, 2, 3, and if you attack basically right after the last attack hits them, then you will get that last hit if they are at full HP.
Ooh, I was gonna say this Pango, I don't think has any regen on him. He's been like sitting in lane pretty well, so I feel like going aggressive then.
Yeah. So that's a very good point. I think that knowing, and that's a really, really good point, really salient point, Megan. Knowing the regen that is in the lane can have can allow you to play more or less aggressively. Unfortunately, the Pango did have a salve,
Oh, did he?
which is why he got full HP after that.
Got it.
But it's one of those where if you harass in lane, then you're going to get advantages as far as like regen goes.
Yeah. Your point earlier, though, I think that Lori could have been maybe a little bit more aggressive on the show even without Mitch coming back, given the fact that she's ranged. I don't know. Maybe it's better just to focus on the last hitting.
Yeah, I
But-
think that's a reasonable point. My only concern is that Angolier is so far ahead at this point
Yeah, that's true.
that
Well,
going
there's
ag-
only one level difference between Lori and Pango right now, actually. She's
Yeah, but
67.
he's got a lot more
Yeah.
last hits,
Yeah.
and his ultimate, his level 6 power spike is kind of a lot stronger.
Got it.
Level 7 actually in Pango is a really big power spike because he is able to max his Washbuckle, which he didn't do. He got another value point in Lucky Shot. But yeah, the extra swashbuckle damage.
You died there.
I did die. Very sad. That's what he did there. He got it. Easy.
Ooh,
Oh, he
Mitch
wanded.
gonna
He
live?
wanded and
Yes.
lived. That's a yikes. Oh, no, he didn't live.
No.
And then Medusa comes in to clean it up. Very cool. So at this point, I would say do not go back to lane, right? It is your 4th death in lane. But the Luckenbill way is always teleport back to lane no matter how many times you've died. We're going to try and break that cycle. If not with you, then with Liam at least, please. Once you've died, I would say like twice, but at most 3 times, you need to not go back to lane. Because at a certain point, you're just feeding the enemy offlaner. The other option is swapping lanes. Like oh, Underlord, like, can you come top? Like, I'm gonna go try to farm bottom because a lot of times it's like their support's already left and you can farm more easily, or if offlane's gone really well. So it's never a bad thing to be like, I can't farm this lane anymore if you really can't. So now, especially because you've maxed the multi-shot, now like jungle farming is like the way to go. But you can see that laning phase is pretty much over now, 12 minutes in, and all 3 of their cores are ahead of you. And Medusa is top of the stack, and then sadly me below the Mirana. Mitch is ahead of both the Lion and the Wyvern though, so good job, Mitch.
Because he was stealing last hits.
He was stealing last hits very rudely. Let's look at his last hits. Mitch does have 8 last hits. Those are all yours that he stole. The fight happening right now, you could consider going to. Typically, as a carry player, I like to farm through fights, but with the fights happening so close to you, that is a time when it's like acceptable and even like expected that you try to rotate over if you can contribute in some way. This is another point where having 1 value point in Gust would be kind of nice. But yeah, when you're farming jungle, by the way, you want to switch your power treads to agility. The marksmanship proc gives you bonus damage based on your agility, so you want this to be plus 10 agility instead of plus 10 strength. That strength isn't really doing anything for you. Also, you can use your frost arrows to hit jungle creeps as well. If you've got decent mana, I mean, your mana is okay. I mean, figuring out a clarity is fine too. The other thing you can do, and this is the last thing I'll say about jungle farming, is you can toggle your power treads to int before you cast multi-shot, and you have more max mana, and it'll basically, when you switch back to int, it will be as if the multi-shot spell took less mana. It's a pro strat. You've got your Overaxe sitting in your backpack. I would probably replace the Tango. I guess Medusa's farming triangle right now, so where you're farming is fine. But you are missing out on this large camp here. Which you could have even stacked there, actually, you had the time. That's like these two camps are the most gold in the jungle, so going for those is like great. This camp is worth like 1 lane creep worth of gold, so it's not really that valuable. But yeah, this is just jungle farming, so nothing super. Yeah, you gotta put your items you buy in your inventory. Actually, in the backpack, then won't do anything. When you see open lane, you go and farm it. That's fine. We got that last hit. Very good. Yeah, you can see, even though like we've been chilling farming jungle, you can see that the net worth distribution really hasn't really changed that much. And that's because Drow doesn't really have flash farming ability or mobility to flash farm. So unless you've got like really good stacks from your support, it's kind of hard to do that kind of catch-up flash farming in Drow. But we're kind of in a rough situation right now. We don't have a lot of vision down. We're behind on kills. Medusa's very fat, but everyone else is kind of behind. So like, what is this? What is happening? How long was that?
You're probably having a conversation or something about, like, you know, the people do rotation. I don't know. My guess would be there was a conversation happening there.
Okay, so it started at 25. Oh my gosh, that was 15 seconds. That was a long stun. It was a Naga sleep plus black hole. You got a full Dragon Lance. This is a lot of gold that is sitting in. Oh, we got it in. We got it in the inventory. Very good.
Nice.
Don't forget to pick up neutral items when they're on the ground.
Yeah,
can...
I think replacing the Tango would have been better than replacing the Iron Branch.
That's also true.
Because the Tango is something that you use at a very like specific time. It doesn't have a passive effect. So I think we're like be a little bit better.
That's smart. That's a really good point, Megan. Dude, those Ironware branches, sadly, not as cool as the Tango. The Tango lives. Yeah, you see here, you're sitting at full HP, full mana. That's a sign that you're not using enough of your mana, you know? It's actually, in my experience, better to kind of be like, I'm kind of low mana, I'm ferrying out clarities, so I'm farming as efficiently as possible. I mean, 15 bonus damage is basically 10% bonus damage on every single hit. Kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of super static gameplay, not really much to talk about here. We're just farming jungle. We're not farming the biggest camp in the jungle for whatever reason, which is a lot of gold missed out. You can actually farm that using your multi-shot from the high ground, which is kind of nice. So, well, he's farming oh, this is actually a fight, so maybe we'll actually look at this. This is like one of the last interesting things that happens. Okay, so they're posturing mid. We say we gotta save Medusa when she gets gone on, which is now. Okay, so first of all, we'll listen to the dulcet tones. Megan can hear the dulcet tones of Medusa ulting. Walking this way, like this, not the strat. this is a very dangerous, even with the ward there, it's a very dangerous area. As you can see, they can kind of like get up there very quickly and very easily. So this was not the way to walk. If you wanted to get to this point, you probably want to walk around behind because you're very squishy. The danger zone to be in. We'll do this nice and slow. Alright, so there's an ult here on Medusa. What you should have done here, and I don't fault you for not doing this, but you should have walked close to Medusa and taken some of the hits from Juggernaut's ult. That seems like a very dumb and wrong thing to do, but you are full HP and your Medusa is below, like realistically below half HP because all of her mana is gone and a lot of HP is effectively mana. Mana is effectively HP on Medusa. So if you can soak up like 3, 4, 5, 600 damage, right? That means that Medusa might actually live here, right? And if Medusa's alive, that's really good for us. So, unfortunately, Andy didn't see the arrow coming in, so he got hit with that. Medusa barely survives and starts running away. Jug's spinning, trying to get this kill. I Greaves, which saves the Medusa, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. I did do that. That was me. And then Wyvern ults you, right? This is a fight, I will say, that you didn't even need to come to, right? I don't know if you realized it was going to be a fight when you walked down there. But Medusa was already farming this lane. There's kind of no reason for you to be here. So your only contribution is to get ulted and save Rubik from being ulted, which is very nice of you. It was kind of a wasted Wyvern ult though, so it doesn't really matter that much. Medusa's playing extremely bold considering she is like 0 HP. So this is one of the hardest things to do as carry, in my opinion. It's the decision to fight or farm. So the fight is, at this point, is this exact point, over. The fight is over. They've used all their abilities. We've used a bunch of our abilities. No one died. Okay, that's fine, right? Deciding, like, okay, like, are we going to keep fighting? In that case, like, let's go. Or, like, I'm going to go back to farming. You're doing neither right now, right? So you gotta... Medusa makes a call to retreat. So time to go back to the jungle, right? No point in chilling mid anymore. Which we eventually... Come on. We do. We do. Yep, we do. Okay, cool. So, unfortunately, over that whole exchange, Jug was just hitting creeps all the time, right? And when you think about it, it's like Juggernaut is who you are comparing farm to this game. He's the position 1, right? So, I mean, he got like 500 gold while nothing happened mid, right? So that's a lot of...
Did anybody die that fight? I mean,
No one died. It was a peaceful Buddhist fight.
Oh.
That's okay. Don't get baited into little mini skirmishes on the side, especially when you're doing the Patrick farm. But yeah, we're just in farm game again. I mean, there's not really even that much to talk about this game. Overall, jungle farming, it can be more efficient. I'm not going to go into the perfect efficiency of jungle farming because it's like whatever. But there's a lot of time, and you can really see in the replay, there's a lot of time spent just like running around in circles, not hitting creeps or fighting, right? And part of this is to do with the laning phase, and it's kind of unfortunate that like laning phases in general are so very hard, and they are like what determine like so much of the rest of the game. Like it's like item builds don't matter, like team fighting decisions don't matter if your laning phase went so badly that your enemy Pango is 2,000 gold, like an item ahead of you, right? So at this point, we're just gonna hit creeps. I think there's gonna be one ill-fated Tower push top. And then that's like game, basically. Medusa's doing great. Medusa's killing it. We're all very happy for Medusa. So this is an okay to push top, which we can talk about this. This is the last thing we'll talk about, and then this will be over. It's over. Okay, go nice and slow. So, I'll even go back further in time. So free camera. So we know that they are Mirana ulted, I believe. I think we know this. But we might not. I'm not sure about vision 100%. I'm pretty sure we have vision of them getting Mirana ulted. So we're hitting tower, which is fine. As soon as they press fortify, right? You see me running away. Right? You see Mitch running away. You gotta run away too. Right? You started running away, came back. Fatal error. Right? Now, Mitch, Andy, and Wills, whoever the fuck that is, are too far away to instantly save you.
Do you want to explain why you want to back when the tower's fortified?
Yeah, so when the tower's fortified, it means you can't do damage to it. So standing there just means that you can get initiated on for free, and you're not gaining anything by being there. Pushing a tower is inherently dangerous because you can be like jumped on by someone who TPs to the tower. Now, Pudge, you're very cute. It's true. But obviously you still need to take towers to win the game. So when they fortify a tower, that's a good time to like back and regroup. Now, what should have happened here, and I actually complained about this at the time, is we didn't put down any vision. As soon as we first pushed up this tower, probably like 7-8 seconds ago, Mitch, who has no wards on him right now, I believe, should have placed Sentry Observer high ground. Without having Sentry Observer, we probably shouldn't even push this, because it allowed their entire team to walk up without us seeing them, right? So you got jumped on by the Lion, who's got his 26-minute blink dagger. He went cranks in a straight blink, right? You're here. Mitch swaps you out. What a god gamer. He's like, no, take me. Anyone but her. You're still stunned by the Mirana arrow. Andy does a lift on the Lion, who's already rooted. But at this point, the fight is in a really bad spot because we don't have Medusa with us, who's our strongest hero. So the 14,000 net worth on her is not at this fight. So you can see they are missing one hero in this fight who's actually TPing right now. It's the Wyvern. They're missing 4,500 net worth, but every single one of their other heroes is here. Right? We only have these 4 heroes, not this one. So of course, when you just look at the net worth like that, it's very obvious that this is going to be like super hard fight. So I'm getting ulted. I'm just like straight up dead to that because Lion stunned me. Tango's running through. I got my Greaves off right before I died. It doesn't matter. At this point, you should be running for the hills. You should be running into the trees, try to get away. There's nothing that's going to happen over here. It's time to escape. But yeah, I mean, you can see they've got.
That's a hard call to make, though. It's like when all your friends are dying, it's so easy to be like, I need to help my friends live.
It's true, but you gotta not care about your friends. This is Dota. This is Dota. Friendship is dead at the door.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I mean, the game is pretty much just donezo from there, frankly. Like, with all this jungle farming, we're still very far behind. Medusa's still farming, which is good, but Jug's getting like very dangerously fat. Medusa kind of goes mid. Mitch does a sweet swap on Medusa to save her life, but accidentally hits a Juggernaut illusion, which kills both him and her. So there's nothing like going here. I try to run to save my own life, but it doesn't matter. They've got a lot. At this point, it's kind of like whatever. There's just nothing. The game's like actually over. So there's not too much more to say about this game. The main issue, like honestly, is laning in CS. Getting last hits. It's not sexy. It's not cool, but it's like super important. The net worth difference between the Pangolier, who didn't really jungle at all after laning phase was over. I mean, he was just kind of laning and then pushing with the rest of his team. Still had 3,000 net worth lead on you, despite you just sitting in the jungle farming like hard for like 10 minutes. So it was a hard game. Medusa didn't make the right calls. We didn't make the right calls, but they were fatter. And when you're fat, like sumo wrestling and Dota are basically the same thing. The fatter you are, the more likely you are to win. So yeah, not much point in going into the rest. I mean, we'd sit high ground, defend, and die. Like whatever, not too big a deal. But yeah, making sure that you're buying your items, putting them in the right slots, using your mana in lane. That's another big one. But yeah, hopefully there was a couple things that got learned here. Megan, anything else you want to tack on?
No.
Oh, cool.